This tiny British company's technology is inside almost every mobile device on the planet. Their silicon powers the phones, tablets, and smart devices that have reshaped human existence. Yet most people have never even heard of them. From humble origins rejecting the industry's status quo to sparking a mobile renaissance and dominating the chip market, this is the untold, astounding true story of ARM Holdings. In the late 1970s, Britain found itself staring into an abyss of technological irrelevance. A shocking TV documentary, The Mighty Micro, sounded the alarm. Unless the nation educated itself on microprocessors immediately, it risked being left behind in the computer age. The 6-episode series, presented by computer scientist Dr. Christopher Evans, argued that microprocessors would transform the whole of society and warned that if immediate action wasn't taken to educate the British public about computers, the UK would be left behind. This warning raised an alarm inside the newly elected Thatcher government, which was already struggling to prevent the country from falling into recession. The government knew it needed to act decisively. The end result was the Computer Literacy Project, an incredibly ambitious BBC campaign to teach people everything from how microprocessors worked to how computers would impact education and white-collar work. At the heart of this ambitious project was a new home computer commissioned by the BBC to teach the fundamentals of computing. An unassuming startup called Acorn surprisingly won the prestigious contract against industry titan Sinclair Research, thanks to the genius of a young engineer named Sophie Wilson, who coded a working prototype in a single caffeinated week while watching Prince Charles's wedding. Acorn's BBC Micro was a smashing success, putting a revolutionary computer in classrooms across Britain. But dark clouds loomed on the horizon as powerful desktop PCs like the IBM threatened to make the BBC Micro obsolete. Acorn frantically searched for a way to deliver 10x the performance at the same low price point. That's when they discovered a radical academic paper on reduced instruction set computing, or RISC. Throwing caution to the wind, Sophie Wilson translated these unconventional ideas into just 808 lines of code that defined the architecture for a new super-efficient microprocessor, the ARM1. With the ARM1's brilliant design in hand, Acorn escaped financial collapse by the skin of its teeth when an Italian white knight named Olivetti injected desperately needed cash. But the fledgling company faced a new challenge, finding the killer application for its game-changing processor. Enter Apple, the icon of Silicon Valley rebellion. The tech titan fell in love with the RM1 and scored the rights to use it in an audacious new handheld product called the Newton. While it ultimately flopped, the collaboration sparked an idea that would mint billions. ARM as a microprocessor design house. Shunning the traditional model of manufacturing its own chips, ARM pivoted to licensing its instruction set architecture to semiconductor companies for an upfront fee and ongoing royalties. This innovative play paved the way for ARM's rise during the mobile revolution of the 1990s, as its low-power chips found their way into Nokia's iconic handsets and gaming consoles. Then came the iPhone in 2007, Apple's moonshot gamble to reinvent the smartphone. After Intel bizarrely passed on designing the processor, Apple's former savior ARM stepped up to the plate. That decision to put ARM at the core of the iPhone forged one of the most lucrative partnerships in business history. As you caress the latest iPhone's gorgeous display, you never imagined the British processor brains inside, did you? ARM's energy-efficient chip designs have powered not just every iPhone, but 99% of the world's smartphones, along with Kindles, smartwatches, drones, and more. ARM's magic lies in its self-perpetuating business model, a virtuous cycle where better chip designs enable better devices that earn ARM more royalties to plow back into radical research. By working with everybody from Apple and Google to Qualcomm and Amazon, ARM keeps accelerating the frontiers of mobile computing and IoT. The financial world started to pay attention. In 2016, SoftBank's visionary founder Masayoshi Son bet a staggering $32 billion to acquire ARM, one of the biggest tech deals ever. And in 2020, Apple upped the ante by basing its entire Mac lineup on custom ARM-based processors. ARM's meteoric rise from a tiny British startup to a $64 billion semiconductor juggernaut is the stuff of legend. Starting with those 808 lines of code that defined an audacious new computing architecture, ARM has shaped and reshaped entire industries. From that shocking wake-up call about microprocessor ignorance in the UK to putting a tightly integrated supercomputer in every pocket worldwide is a remarkable story of perseverance and innovation. Despite facing skepticism and challenges along the way, ARM's unwavering vision and commitment to their ideas allowed them to pioneer a successful IP licensing model for microprocessors. ARM's growth from a small startup to a global industry leader serves as an inspiring example of how dedication and forward thinking can drive technological progress and create a lasting impact. If you found this video informative, please consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you.